Since their first X-Men set in 2012, LEGO has only given us a handful of X-Men characters, and we're still missing many of the main characters. So in this video, we will fix that by making every main X-Men 97 character into a minifigure.
To me, my X-Men.
Starting off, we have the man who started it all, Professor X. For Professor X, I used a dark green suit from Mr. Burns from the collectible minifigure series, with a relatively generic head. Now, of course, Professor X would not be himself without his chair. Now, he could just use the LEGO wheelchair piece in yellow. But I wanted to build his signature hover chair, so I came up with this design for a cartoon-accurate version of his yellow hover chair. Next up, we have Jean Grey, who uses these bright light orange legs from Captain Jonas, blue and yellow torso from Aisha with bright light orange arms, and the head from Snow White's Queen with this red hair from Poison Ivy. For Cyclops, Wolverine, Rogue, Storm, and Beast, I'm using the most recent official LEGO minifigures with some small upgrades. For Cyclops, I gave him these blue and yellow legs from the Beach Boy minifigure. Everybody's gone surfing. And yellow hips for his superhero underpants. I also changed his hairpiece to this reddish brown version that I think better matches his hair in the animated series. For Storm, I'm using the figure from the CMF, but I've added these bracelets, which I made using 2 of these ring pieces from the Lord of the Rings. To match the original X-Men series, you can use this white curly hairpiece. Later on in the season, she starts wearing her black costume, which actually matches quite well with the Storm figure we got in 2014, though I can't think of a great way to add her crown piece. With Wolverine, I'm really disappointed with the way that the printing of the legs matches the torso, or rather, doesn't match the torso. Come on, LEGO. Instead, I've swapped him out with the CMF version, but kept his face with a smile instead of a frown. For Rogue, the official figure looks really good, except for the color matching of the torso to the legs again. I really wish LEGO would take some steps to fix this problem, as it really detracts from the look of the minifigures for me. For Beast, I think the official figure does a great job, although it would be really cool if they had made a big fig mold for him, since he's a little bit larger than the main characters. Moving on from official figures, we next have Gambit. For him, I used these black legs with dark pink accents from this Alien Trooper minifigure, and Magneto's torso with dark brown arms and a dark brown cape to form his trench coat. To finish him off, I used this tousled hair in dark brown with this balaclava head from Boba Fett. Of course, Gambit wouldn't be complete without his signature bow staff and playing cards. For his playing cards, I used these translucent purple playing cards that I think represent his charged energy effect pretty well. Next, we have Jubilee. For her, I am using the legs from DC's Stargirl and the torso from Star Wars Freemaker Adventures Rowan. For her head, I first tried using this fairy Batman head, since it has a pink headband that I thought might work well for her iconic pink sunglasses. But the face looked a bit too masculine, so I switched to a more feminine face with a friend's hairpiece so that I could use the small hole to fit these pink sunglasses on. Now in X-Men 97, whenever we saw Jubilee, Sunspot was not far behind. I've recreated his casual look using plain tan legs with a white and orange torso from this race car driver. For his head, I used this head from Ned Leeds with some swept dark brown hair. For his hero costume, I used these black and yellow legs from the paddle surfer with yellow hips, this torso from Black Vulcan, and a head from Kingo with dark brown swept hair. For his accessory, I added some of these transparent orange power blasts that I think work perfectly for his superpower. Next up, we have Morph, who again uses some blue and yellow legs from this Beach Boy with added yellow hips. For his torso, I used the jacket from Indiana Jones, and for his head, I used Metamorpho's head from DC. I am a little disappointed that there was not a better jacket that would pair with a yellow shirt, but this is the best I could come up with for now. Moving on to one of my personal favorite X-Men, we have Nightcrawler. Ideally, he would use white and black legs from either the Punisher or the Black Cat, but both of these figures only come in the $350 Daily Bugle set, and go for between $15 and $20 a piece. So I settled for plain black legs.
Oh man!
I used this black and red torso from Nightwing along with shoulder pads from the Monkey King. When the Avatar characters came out, I was really excited to use their heads for a custom Nightcrawler minifigure. But once I had them in hand, I decided the head looks a bit too cartoony for my taste.
Look at this dude.
So I've opted for this head from Ronan the Accuser with some spiky hair, though I did keep the tail from the Avatar characters. For Cable, I've yet again used the blue and yellow legs from this Beach Boy, I get around, yeah, coupled with a yellow belt. For his torso, I used this blue one from Ninjago's Shark Army Great White General, along with one flesh-colored arm and one metal arm. I recreated his large shoulder pads with this armor from Paz Vizsla, and I've given him a serious face with the hair from Up's Carl Fredricksen. Finally, I've equipped him with a few futuristic weapons that he is always packing. For our next futuristic character, I have recreated Bishop using these blue legs with gold stripes from the Toy Soldier. For his torso, I used a basic Superman torso with a small red cape from Overwatch's Cole Cassidy for his large bandana that conveniently covers the giant Superman logo while keeping some of the yellow belt visible for Bishop. For his head, I used this reddish-brown head from one of the Arkham Asylum security guards with some short black hair. If you want a Bishop version that is more accurate to the original X-Men animated series, you can use this longer black hair on the same figure. Moving now from the good guys to the bad guys, we first have Magneto. For Magneto, the original 2012 version works really well, but I've added this utility belt to give him just a bit more purple at the waist. For the pinkified version of Magneto, I have the latest version from the official X-Jet Lego set, but I changed his hair to this curly piece that I think is a bit more screen accurate than the official version. Despite not appearing in the latest X-Men 97 cartoon yet, I had to build Mystique and Sabretooth, a couple of classic X-Men villains. For Mystique, I used these blue and white legs from the Condiment King, along with Princess Leia's torso with blue arms. I used a head from DC's Killer Frost with red hair from Dynamite to finish off Mystique's classic look. This is definitely one of my favorite minifigures from the showcase. For Sabretooth, I used these bright light orange legs from this collectible minifigure Tiger Woman with a dark red hip piece with a torso from Harry Potter's Madame Maxime and a nice fur collar. For his head, I use this Aquaman headpiece with spiky bright yellow hair. Next up is Mr. Sinister. I really wanted to find an official Lego torso that would have his signature red diamond piece in the middle. So I found this torso from an old Lego castle figure and added dark gray legs with a red hip piece to match. The cartoon character has more of a dark blue outfit, but I think the dark gray works okay, especially with the red diamond in the center of his chest. Next, I added this black and red cape from a Scooby-Doo vampire, along with this white head from Morbius with the flat top black hairpiece. Along with Mr. Sinister, I also created the Goblin Queen, who uses this torso from Bellatrix Lestrange with plain black legs and a Dementor cape. I used this red hair from DC's Firestar with this feminine head from Jurassic Park's Claire Dearing. For the next villain, we have a minifigure scale version of the classic Sentinel. For him, I used these large magenta dome pieces and some transparent red eyes. I'm still working on his body, so if you're interested in seeing the finished product, smash the like button and let me know in the comments below. Next up, we have the Executioner, who uses the legs and torso from Luke Skywalker with some arms from the Mandalorian and a dark orange utility belt. I added another small side cape from Cole Cassidy and used a metallic Ninjago hood piece with this black head with yellow eyes that comes from the Black Knight, another Scooby-Doo villain. I recreated some of the fancy weapons that the Executioner has in the show, like this large purple blaster that can take away a mutant's special powers, this spear, and this particularly fancy long-range weapon. And now we have Bastion, who uses this black and red Nightwing torso with plain black legs, a head from Batman's King Tut to capture his goatee, and hair from Draco Malfoy. Let me know which characters I missed in the comments below, and if enough people like this video, I may make them in a follow-up video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.